Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I stand before you to discuss one of the most pressing issues of our time, and this is the global warming. This phenomenon characterized by the gradual increase in Earth's average surface temperature that possesses a significant threat to our planet and its all inhabitants, and it's a challenge that requires immediate and concerted efforts from individuals, communities, governments, and organizations worldwide. To comprehend the gravity of global warming, we must first understand its issues. The primary driver of global warming is the increase in the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. These gases including the carbon dioxide, the CO2, methane, CH4, and the nitrous oxide N2O that trap heat from the sun, creating a greenhouse effect. This effect is natural and necessary for the life on Earth, while the human activities have amplified to its dangerous levels. The burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas for energy and transportation is a large source of greenhouse gas emissions. The deforestation, industrial processes, and agricultural practices are also contribute significantly. As a result, the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere has risen dramatically since the Industrial Revolution, leading to a steady increase in global temperatures. The impacts of global warming are far-reaching and multifaceted. One of the most visible effects is the melting of polar ice caps and glaciers. This not only contributes to the rising of sea levels, but also disrupts of ecosystems that threaten species that depends on the ice-covered regions for the survival. The coastal communities around the world are at risk of flooding, which can lead to the displacement and loss of livelihoods. Another sequence is the increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events like hurricanes, heat waves, droughts, and heavy rainfall are becoming more common and severe, that causing widespread damage to infrastructure, agriculture, and human lives. These events strain emergency response systems and economic resources, making it harder for communities to recover and adapt. The global warming also has profound effects on the biodiversity. As temperatures rise, many species struggle to adapt in changing conditions, leading to shifts in habitats and migration patterns. The coral reefs, which are highly sensitive to temperature changes, are experiencing now a widespread bleaching and die-offs. The loss of biodiversity is not only disrupts the ecosystems but also diminishes the natural resources and services that the humans rely on. While the environmental impacts of global warming are very alarming, it is essential to recognize the human dimension of this crisis. The climate change exacerbates existing the social-economic inequalities that is proportionally affecting the vulnerable populations. The low-income communities, indigenous peoples, and developing countries often lack the resources and infrastructure to cope with the impacts of global warming. The food security is another critical issue. The changes in temperature and precipitation patterns can disrupt the agricultural production, leading to the crop failures and food shortages. This can result to the higher food prices and increased hunger and malnutrition, particularly in regions that are already food insecure. The public health is also at risk. The rising temperature can lead to the spread of vector-borne disease such as malaria and dengue fever, as well as the heat-release illnesses. The poor quality resulting from the increased emissions and wildfires can exacerbate respiratory conditions and other health problems. Despite the daunting challenges posed by the global warming, there is a hope. We have the knowledge, technology, and the capacity to mitigate its effect and build a more sustainable future. However, this requires urgent and collective action at all levels of society. The most critical step on addressing global warming is reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. This can be achieved through the combinations of the strategies. Number 1. Transitioning to renewable energy. Shifting to the renewable energy resources, such as solar. The energy efficiency. Improving the energy efficiency in the buildings, the transportations, and industry can significantly reduce the emissions, and this includes adopting energy efficient technologies, retrofitting existing infrastructure, and promoting sustainable practices. Number 3. The reforestation and afforestation. That protect the existing forest and planting new trees that can help absorb the CO2 from the atmosphere. The forests act as a carbon sinks, and their preservation is crucial for maintaining the Earth's carbon balance. Number 4. Sustainable agriculture. Implementing the sustainable agriculture practices such as crop rotation, conservation, tillage, and agroforestry can reduce the emissions from farming and enhance the soil carbon storage. Number 5. The carbon pricing. Implementing the carbon pricing mechanisms such as the carbon taxes or cap and trade systems can provide economic incentives for reducing emissions by putting a price on carbons, as we encourage the business and individuals to adopt the cleaner technologies and practices. In addition to mitigation, we must also focus on adaptations and resilience. This involves in preparing for the managing and impacts of global warming that are already occurring and are likely to intensify in the future. Number 1. Infrastructure. Investing in resilient infrastructure such as flood defenses, stormwater management systems, and climate resilient buildings that can help to protect the communities from the extreme weather events. Number 2. Early warning systems. Developing and implementing early warning systems for natural disasters can save lives and reduce economic losses. These systems provide the timely information and alerts, allowing communities to take preventive and measures. Number 3. Ecosystem restoration. Restoring degraded ecosystems such as wetlands, mangroves, and coral reefs can enhance their ability to buffer against the climate's impacts. A healthy ecosystems provide essential services such as water filtrations, storm protections, and carbon sequestration. Number 4. Community engagement. Engaging communities in climate adaptations, planning, and decision-making is crucial, and the local knowledge and participation can lead to more effective and equitable solutions. The global warming is a global problem that requires an international cooperation that no single country that can solve these issues alone. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, is a landmark international treaty that aims to limit the global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels, with efforts to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Achieving this target requires countries to set and meet ambitious emissions reductions goals. Nationally determined contributions in DCS. Developed countries and have a responsibility to support developing nations and their climate efforts. This includes providing the financial assistance, technology transfer, and capacity building to help them transitions to low-carbon economies and adapted to climate impacts. While governments and organizations play a crucial role in addressing global warming, the individual's actions also matter. Each of us can contribute to the fight against the climate change through our daily choices and behaviors. Number 1. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. This minimizing waste and recycling materials can reduce and demand for the new resources and lower emissions from productions and disposals. Number 2. Sustainable transportation. Choosing a transportation, carpooling, biking, walking instead of driving alone can reduce emissions from vehicles. Electric and hybrid vehicles are also more environmentally friendly options. Number 3. Energy conservation. Simple actions such as turning off lights and appliances when not in use, using energy-efficient bulbs, and setting thermostats to energy-saving temperatures can reduce energy consumption. Number 4. Support sustainable products. Purchasing products made from sustainable materials and supporting companies with environmentally friendly practices can drive demand for greener options. Number 5. Advocacy, raising awareness about global warming and advocating for climate actions in your community, workplace, and government can amplify the impact of individual efforts. In conclusion, global warming is an urgent and complex challenge that demands immediate and sustained actions. The science is clear and the evidence is overwhelming. We must act now to protect our planet and future generations by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, enhancing resilience, fostering international cooperation, and making sustainable choices. We can mitigate the impacts of global warming and build a more sustainable and equitable world. Thank you.